how do you teach a dog to give you something? Well, in the beginning, I like to create an even exchange, but even in an even exchange, I want the dog to exchange to something that has more value that is associated directly to me. So I could take something like this treat ball. I have them on a rope, and this is one of the ways that I train my German Shepherds. They'll be playing with this ball that's on a rope, and we'll be tugging with it. And then what I'll do is I'll isolate the ball to where it doesn't have any more movement whatsoever. And then I'll come out with a second ball. And when that second identical ball comes out, I put a lot of movement in it. Even though the balls are identical, if one ball that the dog has in its mouth is not moving and is not any fun anymore, then you increase the likelihood of the dog switching over to the ball that actually is in motion. When the dog switches, then I begin to play with the dog with the opposite ball, keeping a lot of motion in it. And I keep switching back and forth, back and forth. So as I do this with the dog, they're going to see that, hey, this guy's pretty fair and I can make an even exchange for things as I'm going through it. Then what I end up doing, and this really works well in my home and in so many of the homes I go in, I begin to teach this exchange in a hallway that's really closed off at the end, that kind of has that boxed in feature, whether it be the front door or a hallway with a wall at the end of it. Once I've been kind of doing this exchange, I'll throw one ball to the end of the hallway, and then when the dog turns around, I'll show them the second one and see if I can continue that exchange so that way the dog can give. But let me give you some mistakes that you can make when you're trying to teach your dog to give. Let's say that your dog has gone into your closet, has taken out your favorite pair of shoes, and then you begin to yell no while you're chasing your dog and your dog is running away. That is a big mistake, okay? Because one, your no is going to begin to mean that, hey, I'm faster than you. So it's going to lose some of its value if you do that. And then two, the dog is going to outrun you. The dog is also getting rewarded by the act of running. So I don't ever recommend that if your dog has something that you didn't want them to get, that you begin to chase them. Really what you got to begin to deploy is a lot of patience. And this is one reason that when we have young pups, they stay supervised. I keep doors closed so that way we don't give them the opportunity to do the things that we want. Now, let me give you a real world scenario for me, okay? I have a pair of shoes that I just bought recently that I really like. They mean a lot to me. They're kind of motivational shoes. So Gabby sometimes in the morning, if I don't get her quite enough exercise, she still wants more. She'll go into the closet in my bedroom and she'll pull out one of my favorite shoes. But I'm very lucky, and I wouldn't say lucky, I've just trained her. If she has one of those shoes, I can quickly ask her to let it go, or I can ask her to bring it to me, and then I know that she needs a little bit more attention. I won't reward her, if she ever runs away, but I will reward her if she brings the shoe to me, and I begin to do that. Now, I see a complication there. The complication is that she's going to use the shoe over and over, to get me to be able to engage with her. But I'll tell you that I do a pretty good job each and every morning of wearing my dogs out. So this doesn't happen a lot. It mainly happens when there is a ton of rain in the morning and I just can't quite get out there to them. But if your dog has something that's very valuable to you, don't run and chase after them. Encourage them to bring that back. And then when they do that, make it wonderful for them and tell them what a good dog they are. And maybe, stop whatever it is that you're doing and begin to engage your dog, engage their mind, and engage some of those different things that they can do.